Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Dez rips Cowboys bad management, worries about losing season. It is too early to panic. But it is not too early to be disappointed. We will gently place old friend Dez Bryant in that latter category, even as he is ripping his favorite team the Dallas Cowboys for what he terms bad management. I do not like the sound of this, and it damn sure feel like it won't be a winning season unless they get some proven vets in the building, Bryant said in reflecting on the suggestion that Dallas isn't in hot pursuit of big-name running back help along the lines of Derrick Henry. Of course, we could have told him that. While the Cowboys have waited patiently, day one of NFL free agency sees Saquon Barkley move to the Eagles, Josh Jacobs moved to the Packers, and even Dallas' own Tony Pollard moved to Tennessee, as he agreed to a 3-year, $24 million free agent contract. Hate to see Pollard go, because I feel like he was not utilized the correct way, Bryant wrote. Ezekiel Elliott was let go a year too early, and now Pollard gone because of bad management. Added Dez, who of course was a standout player here and is now a very vocal unofficial booster club president for the Cowboys. Usually, anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing what Dallas backfield will look like this year. CowboysSI.com is reporting that the Cowboys are interested in Aaron Jones, who just got cut in Green Bay. And of course, eventually, somebody is going to carry the ball for America's team, unless Dallas management is really, really bad. Dallas Cowboys free agency, 3 takeaways from the lack of Dallas activity on day 1. It is officially past working hours on Monday, March 11th, and the Dallas Cowboys have yet to get on the board. We are of course talking about free agency with the NFL's legal tampering period opening at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. In looking at everything that Dallas has done, you can keep tabs on it all with our tracker. There is a whole bunch of nothing. Technically, this is not true. The Cowboys may not have any new bodies, but they do have a few new holes. Tony Pollard got things started by returning to his home state with the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, both Dorrance Armstrong and Tyler Biadasz have followed Dan Quinn to the Washington Commanders. At the time of this writing, Jordan Lewis has also been slightly connected to Washington. Meanwhile, nobody has even been loosely tied to the Cowboys. It has been a frustrating day for a lot of fans, and we are going to do our best to walk through it all with 3 different takeaways. It is very often said that NFL teams build their roster to win their division. That is, of course, the easiest and most assured way towards entering the postseason tournament. While it is hard to say that the Philadelphia Eagles, New York Giants, and/or Washington Commanders are specifically working on attacking the Cowboys, they are at the very least working. There has been a flurry of activity for every team, but notably the Philadelphia Eagles landed running back Saquon Barkley and pass rusher Bryce Huff. Meanwhile, the New York Giants have a new pass rusher of their own after trading for Brian Burns, and also replaced Barkley by bringing in Devin Singletary. Washington took 2 Cowboys and also signed Austin Ekeler in addition to Frankie Louvu. Super Bowls are not won during the legal tampering period, nor are they lost in a significant way, but each of Dallas' rivals are better than they were when the window opened, while the Cowboys themselves are worse. Each of the other NFC East teams all got new running backs. The Eagles paid a bit more for theirs given Barkley's reputation, but the position saw some serious activity on Monday. Outside of the division, the Green Bay Packers paid Josh Jacobs, while the Titans landed Tony Pollard. Antonio Gibson joined the New England Patriots, and DeAndre Swift started the party by joining the Chicago Bears. In terms of serious names, only Derrick Henry and Aaron Jones, released in the Jacobs aftermath, remain. This is not a deep draft class for running backs, and it appears that NFL teams have taken serious notice of that. Ensuring that a position isn't one of need prior to the draft is a smart way to build your roster, something the Cowboys have done in the past. But with Pollard out, the Cowboys now face the reality of finding a legitimate primary ball carrier and are running out of options and methods to do that. Maybe fate will smile upon them by way of Henry or Jones, but given that Dallas was unwilling to pay Pollard what Tennessee did, that feels a bit rich, no pun intended. Throughout the day, as details of everything was unfolding, there were folks all over the internet noting how predictable this was. That was and is true. But does that make it any less frustrating? Of course not. Whether or not you bought into Jerry Jones' claim of going all in this year, that Dallas is so willing to continually watch other teams better their roster while thumbing their nose at the period is difficult to square even from a logical perspective. The Cowboys have had great success in the regular season in recent history, and it is important to note that. But why not consider dabbling in the free agency pools in the name of having even more success? Why not consider an alternative line of thought than the one that has been driving the franchise for over a decade now? History is written by the winners, and there is no pen in hand for the Cowboys front office. They may think that their way is best, but to not even consider doing things slightly different despite an overwhelming amount of evidence suggesting otherwise is bold at the very least. It is potentially some sort of arrogant in other respects. We all knew that this was coming. That this was the case only makes the reality more frustrating, not something we should be more understanding of. Cowboys linked to trading underachieving $57 million starter to Panthers. The Dallas Cowboys are looking for a new home for starting wide receiver Michael Gallup, and the Carolina Panthers may be the most likely landing spot. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler reported that the Panthers are a potential fit for Gallup as the Cowboys have given the wideout permission to seek a trade. Trade names are percolating, and we already saw Jeudy get dealt to Cleveland on Saturday after Denver fielded calls from several interested teams, per sources, Fowler wrote in a March 10, 2024 story titled, NFL Free Agency Buzz, Last-Minute Intel on Signings, Trades. The Cowboys are exploring all options with receiver Michael Gallup, including a potential trade. The Panthers could be one to watch here. Gallup still has 3 seasons remaining on a 5-year, $57.5 million contract. If the Panthers traded for Gallup, it is hard to imagine the receiver's current contract not being altered in order to facilitate a deal. The veteran wideout is slated to have an $8.5 million salary along with a $13.8 million cap hit in 2024. Dallas has an out in Gallup's deal this offseason but would take a $13 million dead cap hit by releasing the playmaker. The Cowboys are motivated to find a solution prior to March 17 when $4 million of Gallup's salary becomes guaranteed, per the Dallas Morning News' Calvin Watkins. Carolina's viability as a potential landing spot makes some sense as the team looks to add more receivers for Bryce Young. Yet, could the Panthers simply wait to see if Gallup is released rather than acquiring the wideout via trade? Cowboys have given Wr. Michael Gallup permission to seek a trade, a source said, Watkins detailed in a March 9 message on X. Situation is tough because teams expect Gallup to be released. Even if it is simply a late-round draft pick, it would be a major win if the Cowboys are able to net something in return for Gallup. The receiver has not quite been himself since recovering from a January 2022 ACL injury. Gallup has not topped 500 receiving yards since 2020. The veteran posted 34 receptions for 418 yards and 2 touchdowns, appearing in all 17 games last season. Gallup's best season came in 2019 when the wideout notched the following career-high numbers in 14 games: 66 receptions for 1,107 yards and 6 touchdowns. During last season, Cowboys owner Jerry Jones was critical of Gallup, oddly attempting to publicly critique the receiver's form. But when he is available in the offense, which really I picture Gallup as a contested long ball receiver, Jones said of Gallup during an October 17, 2023 interview with 105.3 The Fans' Sean and RJ. He needs to get his hands right, needs to get those thumbs together on passes above his shoulders. You open those hands and have the thumbs apart when it's below your waist, not above your shoulders. So, we just got to get him, technique-wise, where we know he can be, and that could be the next game. And you, Fan, what do you think of the situation, Michael Gallup? Leave your opinion in the comments.